We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. The foundation leads the fight. The warriors lead the tribe. When the beat drops and the spirits rise, we find the truth behind the disguise. They want us to go away, only our hearts do we obey. The foundation leads the fight. The warriors lead the tribe. When the beat drops and the spirits rise, we find the truth behind the disguise. They want us to go away, only our hearts do we obey.
One for you. Hey, welcome back to everybody in the Irreverent Warriors tribe, the Grunt Style Foundation tribe. We are back. We are here in St. Louis. We had a little hiccup, but we are back in action. Again, I am Hugh from Irreverent Warriors on this gorgeous Friday, joined by Will Wisner, Executive Director, Grunt Style Foundation, and Trey Warren, a member of the St. Louis IW hike team, former Lieutenant Commander, United States Navy, F-18 pilot, Top Gun graduate. And we're going to get into some of the healing that he's been doing with his mental health later in the show. But first, I wanted to talk a little bit about what we did last weekend. So last weekend was the canoe, kayak, and raft adventure in the Ozarks for Irreverent Warriors. And for those that aren't familiar, we do this every June. It's 3 days. Next year, we may be extending it to 4 days, but there's live music on stage. We've got a beautiful, beautiful campground that's got cabins and glamping tents if you want to upgrade, or you can tent camp. There's RV spots. There's anything you could want at this gorgeous campground. It's almost like being at a golf resort or something like that. As far as campgrounds go, it's gorgeous. And we go down to this beautiful river, the Current River in the Ozarks, and it's just phenomenal. Rainbow trout, eagles, hawks. The water is crystal clear. I mean, it's unbelievable. But we've got a great video we wanted to show to kind of recap that event for some of you that missed it. And check it out, because it might be worth bringing the family next year. It's open to everybody. It's open to everyone that supports Irreverent Warriors, and we have the whole place rented out to ourselves, and it's just phenomenal. Big Rock Candy Mountain is what it's called.
Well, thank you for coming out. We clearly have found a new location for this annual event. This place is gorgeous.
First IW event, and honestly, like, being here and just being comfortable knowing that you can kind of say whatever you want and pretty much get away with it, especially with people that have similar humor, have similar like ideals, and like kind of everybody here has something in common. So that's always something that's okay, like boom, right away, now I'm comfortable.
Being around a group like this means a lot to me for my mental health, as well as, you know, just being around, as I said before, other veterans. We just get each other, we click, we know, we joke, we play, we laugh, we cry, we do all that above, and this is a good place to come, you know, let your mind be free and just take a weight off.
What up? What's going on? Trying to catch the front, but you guys keep getting in my way.
Well, first off, Float trip here, I don't care. Being on the river is my happy place, and it was so peaceful and it's so therapeutic.
For me, it's the camaraderie, it's the friends. It's coming to see all the people that I saw at the hikes, share my brother's story, share the promise with people, and just get out there and be social. And you'll make new friends. I guarantee it'll happen. It might even be me.
Each one of us has a different story and a different path to healing. And we come out here into nature because nature is a pharmacy.
A reboot, like a legit reboot. Like I'm energized. I love my hikes, but being in this situation where I can actually stand down and like spend time with my friends and talk to them, it's a great atmosphere.
Bass slamming in the speaker, straight knocking the block. We rolling up on them blades while haters riding on stocks. And if you ain't got no tunes, quit touching my ox.
Whatever drama you have going on at home, it'll be there when you get back. Come, leave it at the door and allow yourself to just embrace into the beauty of nature and the camaraderie.
Gorgeous, the rocks, the beautiful scenes, and like seeing people just randomly finding rocks and cliff diving kind of reminds me of being stationed in Hawaii and like finding the random little thrill where you can.
Just being around veterans or being around people that have been through it and having that same thing in common, I think that not only helps you get out what you need to get out and kind of share what you've been through with people that may or may not have gone through that, but just being able to share that with them and in an environment where it's very therapeutic and just very relaxing.
You know, bringing back that joke around, that dirty humor, that I don't know you, but in 5 minutes you're gonna be my best friend.
Ow.
Hang in there, guys. I know it's rough, but you know that's what these things are for, is to get connected with other veterans and find your tribe again and your clique and whoever that might be. But make an effort to find someone.
Thank you all for your support. Love you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it was really just a phenomenal event. We've already got requests to extend it by another day for next year. Optional. We may do an optional Thursday, and then the main event's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But
Nice.
Man, I could go back right now. I'm telling you, it is one of those things where when you're there, all the little chattering in your mind kind of stops, you know?
being
And you
present.
just, oh my gosh, you just feel so connected to the land and so connected to that river. It's very unusual. I mean, it may have been something that was going on my whole life and I just never noticed it. But you know how people are drawn to the beach? People are drawn to beaches, right?
Yep.
And they say, when I'm on the beach, my mind chatter goes away. And they say all these things about the beach, right? I don't know why, but I need to go to the beach. I love to go to the beach, you know? I feel like that about these rivers in the Ozarks.
Totally.
It is wild.
Yeah, man. I grew up down there. You know, I grew up my whole life going down on those rivers, down on the North Fork and the Current and all those good places down there. And so I always feel like it's just home whenever I get back on that river. It's something I look forward to every year. I wasn't able to make this one. I had other obligations this past weekend, but it's at least on my calendar. I want to do it at least 3 more times this summer before the weather turns. So that's my personal take care of myself goal for the year. I don't know if I'll be able to squeeze time out to do it, but I'm sorry I missed it. I'll be there next year. It's blocked off. So
Yeah, totally. Yeah, well, it's a spring-fed river. This one, as a lot of the ones in the Ozarks are, and the water is just spewing out of these volcanic rocks. And there's waterfalls, and you can do cold plunges, and you can drink it. It's really, really wild.
Yeah, man, isn't that crazy? I mean, it's one of the cool places we have left in the country where you can actually go and just drink water out of a spring.
Yes, it's untouched by human hands. Whereas a lot of the other more gorgeous parts of our country have been destroyed.
Yeah. I mean, we're at a point where people think it's weird to drink water.
Yeah.
Because it may hurt you.
Probably because it will hurt you.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was wonderful. Next up, we've got Lex. Lex is calling in from Texas. He is a longtime IW member, and he is a part of the DC leadership team and the Temple, Texas leadership team. And he is calling in. He has just written a book about veteran mental health called The War Inside. And he has been spending a lot of time working on his own mental health and working on holistic healing. And as you can see, there's his time from active duty. He's a paratrooper, and he's poured his heart and soul into this book. So Lex, tell us more. Tell us all about it.
Ooh, well, first off, thank you for having me. I know with technology, we got to adjust. So it took me about 7 years to write this book. I've been sitting on it, just sorting through my stuff, and every time I think I have the answers, I find another healing modality. But The War Inside basically is a book that I wish someone would have handed me years ago when I was going through my stuff. It's about trauma, it's about survival mode, it's relationships, emotional healing, learning that just because you survive something, that it doesn't mean it has to stay there, right? You don't have to stay stuck there. And my experiences in the military, life traumas and things that happened in my life helped shape this book. This isn't just a veteran story. It's for anyone who's ever felt overwhelmed, burnt out. It is helping those escape the survival mode, right? And that's something that we in the military, it saved our lives. And it may have saved our lives, but it was never meant to become our entire life. And that's where this book came in.
Awesome. Well, tell me a little bit. Everybody has their own struggles. Everybody has their own vulnerable points. What aspects of your life in this journey? What aspects of your life were you called to face? Was there, is this like? Was there romantic relationship stuff? Was it self-worth stuff, childhood stuff? Like what topics do you end up covering? If you're like me, you cover all the above, right? I mean, I've had all the above, but what would you say some of the focuses were, of the lessons that you kind of come across and the biggest challenges?
No, absolutely. I think you're right. A lot of times when we are dealing with whatever it is we're dealing today, we think that the PTSD may have came from trauma in the military. And a lot of times it's childhood stuff you never sorted through. So it goes further back. For myself, that's why I covered a lot of things that started from childhood. Those who know me, I tell them my earliest memory of my dad was at 5 years old, him telling me no one will ever love me, I will die alone. And I didn't realize that I spent most of my adult life trying to be the best at everything, almost secretly trying to prove to him I'm enough. And it's covering those things, everything from the military, from failed relationships, marriages, that constant thought that you're failing as a parent, and everything that comes with that, right? Addictions, the hypervigilance, the becoming emotionally numb, pushing people away. All of that is tied into this book.
Wonderful. And I would assume that in some part, in the book, you start laying out a path forward, right? And start helping others navigate what you didn't have. You said you wish someone would have handed you this book. There's probably some simple steps everybody can take in their own lives. I know when I was, before I came on this show this morning, I met with some folks that I've been mentoring from the local community. And, they were laying out some different things that they're facing and kind of asking for my feedback. And what kept coming to me was helping them think about being present and being just facing the next step and following what joy and passion they have and excitement they have in their life today to do a very small thing in their life, whether it's plant a flower or go on a walk or, just small things. Because we always think that there has to be this big life-changing thing that we've got to dream about and think about and plan out. And it's like, I'm starting to think that it's more about just taking tiny daily steps, I'm not telling you what your book says, but I would love to hear like what steps you think folks could take that would give an example from the book.
No, absolutely. I think that the biggest takeaway is, you don't have to figure out your whole life today. And I think that that is something we often struggle with. We are often struggling with, oh, I have to fix everything now. And when you look at that and you look at everything from a big picture, it's just going to become overwhelming and you're going to end up stuck. So the main thing is understanding you don't have to fix everything today. You just have to take the next right step, right? Asking for help, talking to someone, you know, but pushing forward, right? Your story isn't over. And that is the biggest thing. Everyone sees the warriors, but very few understand the war inside. And that is the goal. In every chapter, I try to provide a little, something as simple as journaling. I will tell some people that negative self-talk that we have, that lie that we constantly tell ourselves that we're not enough, that we will never strive, that comparison to other people's success. It's something as simple as journaling goes a long way. You take a piece of paper and you write down those negative thoughts, and right across from it, I challenge you to write what goes against those thoughts, right? All right.
Oh, I love that.
If it says I'm a failure, right over here all the things I've succeeded. If it says, I'm not good enough, okay, well look at all these things that I've survived. And it's to combat that. And every time you look at that, and you'll see that what it's telling you, that your mind was telling you those things to help you survive at a time when you needed it most. But now it's just constantly repeating that lie. And if you repeat it to yourself enough, regardless of what it is, you're going to believe it. So why not feed your mind the other side and combat that?
Oh man, yeah. It's like mental health nutrition. I never thought of it that way before, but that's yes, it's these simple things that are so brilliant, right? Because when I journal, people told me to journal and I couldn't, I would look at a blank sheet of paper when it would feel overwhelming to me. But then someone told me to write a bullet point and just to do a little dot and then write a little bullet point. So I would just write like 4 words. And then I would do another bullet point and write like 6 words, whatever, right? Like I summarized things instead of writing an entire page. And then that hurdle was gone and I could now journal because I could just do bullet points, right? And, to this day, that's what we got going on here. So it just makes sense for me.
I do the 5-minute, for me, it's a 5-minute rule every night. Because, your day's constantly busy. We try to keep ourselves busy and we think that staying busy is what's helping us. But you're just avoiding the obvious. And when you lay down at night, your mind's running 100 miles an hour. So right before bed, I put the timer on for 5 minutes. Without thinking about it, without trying to make sense, I write down every thought and just write it down. When that timer stops, then I will take a look at it. Then I will read it because now it's like telling it to a friend, saying it out loud. So now you don't have to tell me that at bed.
Wow.
So it's little things like that that goes a long way. And it's not for everybody, but it's a tool for the toolbox.
Brilliant. Well, what are you doing now in the mental health space? I know you're always working on yourself. I know you're always working towards something. What do you got going on? What's your latest project?
Well, my latest project is I started the Mental Warrior 22, a business, and I started a foundation that is built on that exactly. Not just veterans, first responders, families, children, breaking out of that survival mode. And it's providing resources and certain retreats and tools for them to break out of that. That's what I've been doing now. I'm in my last year now of my doctorate in clinical psychology as well. So along with constantly doing IW hikes and trying to engage more with the veteran community while still also not neglecting myself and my healing.
Well, I love following your dad stuff. You and your daughter do a lot of really funny videos on Facebook, and that's actually a great place to engage with you, right? Is to friend you on Facebook. So give them your Facebook name.
Absolutely. On Facebook, it is Lex Bonilla. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. It's all Mental Warrior.
You're gonna have to spell your last name. Not everyone speaks Spanish here.
Right. So it is B as in Bravo, Oscar, November, India, Lima, Alpha.
Got it. Awesome, man. Well, look, there's you looking like a badass in Afghanistan. I love it, man. That looks like Iraq. I'm not a genius, but that looks like Iraq.
That was Saddam's palace.
Yeah. Will spent some time over there.
I did.
All right, man. Well, hey, the book looks fantastic. We're definitely going to pick it up. Everybody out there, make sure you hit up Lex on Facebook, Lex Bonilla, and we will see you at the next hike, man. Are you coming to 4th of July?
Absolutely.
Oh, right on, man.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Nice.
Yeah. We got a big IW 11-year anniversary party at the concert with the fireworks, the drone show, and the and everything at Celebrate St. Louis. We'll talk about that in a minute. But thank you so much, Lex, for joining us today. Congratulations on the book, and we're so lucky to have you in the Irreverent Warriors community.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys
Congratulations,
for having me.
Lex.
Thank you. See you guys soon.
You know what we need to do, because we've got a good number of people inside of IW that are writing books and telling stories. I think we need to make a special space somewhere here on the set where we just start the library of all of our Pizzo's books.
Yeah, because Todd Nicely's a part of my leadership team, and he published a book.
Yeah,
right?
Tim. I mean, there's several of them.
I need to tell Todd I need some more books because
Steve-O, that's a bunch of them.
Yeah. People keep coming here, and I had a stack of his books, and people keep coming, and they all want to read it, so the books are gone.
That's a good problem.
Totally. And speaking of retreats, Alex was talking about retreats. I know that Trey, you just got back from one, but before we jump into your holistic healing retreat, let's talk a little bit about your background. I know you were a lieutenant commander in the Navy and an F-18 pilot. Tell us a little bit about your career, your deployments, and the Top Gun Academy that you went through. We were all excited to hear about that. Your Tom Cruise moment.
So Top Gun, the most important part is learning how to lube up and strip naked and go play volleyball on the beach. That's day one of the class. So
too good. That's too good.
Going through the course, it's the most difficult course I've ever been through. I mean, no shit. It's 14-hour days in the building. For a 1-hour flight.
Is that in a simulator? Or why would you be in there for that long? Classroom instruction or?
So when you're doing the flying phase, you do mission planning for the flying before. So, some flights you'll be an air-to-air mission where you're just trying to protect the aircraft carrier. Some flights you're doing what's called a self-escort strike, where you've got a mix of missiles and bombs, and you've got to fight your way in, drop your bombs on a target, and then fight your way back out. And so you got to plan for these missions. And that takes hours and hours to plan for those. Then you go fly the mission. Then you come back, and the debriefs, no shit, take 10 to 12 hours to debrief everything so you can learn everything that you did right and wrong in the mission.
There's Tom Cruise. Trey.
Oh, wait, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, there I am. That mighty F-14 there.
Yeah, those are the coolest planes ever. Yeah. G.I. Joe toy, that was the best one of all.
They're so nimble.
Oh, yeah,
They're so nimble, though.
Yeah, that's me shooting $1 million missile there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yep, that's Super Hornet.
Oh my God. Oh, that's badass, man. That is badass. So you're saying when you would come back from a Top Gun mission, you'd have to debrief every turn and every decision you made on it.
You would debrief everything you said on the intercom system.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how Nat's ass it gets. And so when you come out,
no pressure.
No. So when you come out of that class, I mean, like you're one with the jet. It's like, you've morphed with the jet and you can fight the shit out of it.
Oh, so that's the purpose of it.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of it. Because then you go back to the fleet and you train all the fleet aviators how to fight the jet.
Oh, so it's a train the trainer.
It's like a master gunner course.
So it's
same thing. Yep.
That makes sense why they were so harsh on Tom Cruise, because if he's not doing the things, how's he training people for combat?
Yeah, if he can't do it. Yeah.
Oh.
And so so when you come back to the fleet and you're wearing that patch, like people look at you and you're expected to,
lead by example.
Yeah, know what you're doing, and you get in the jet, you bang. I mean, everybody makes mistakes and stuff, but, typically the Top Gun graduates, you tend to make fewer mistakes in the jet because you've already made them all. So that's kind of the idea
Did you
behind
ever do the cool flyby on the tower, like when the guy spills his coffee, like in the movie?
Yeah, we did on the carrier, but we always get permission though. Like, and that's one of the Hollywood things. Like in the movie, he always like sneaks up and pisses off the air boss. You don't do that shit in the fleet. Like,
it doesn't work out well.
Would be received well.
I don't think it worked out well for Tom Cruise's career.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know if you saw the second Top Gun, but he didn't make it to a very high rank.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't even know where to go with that one. But Val Kilmer did though, because he was a conformist.
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
Boys and girls, that's the lesson of the day. Is if you're in the military, conform.
He played in the container.
That's hysterical. When you got out of the military, I remember you telling me that when you got out, you already had noticed you were having mental health struggles, and that was part of the reason you got out.
Yeah.
And then like the trap door was let out from under you because you lost your tribe.
Yeah.
You lost your emotional support network. You lost your sense of identity. Talk us through the years that led to you then starting to experiment with holistic modalities.
Yeah, so one of the deployments I did on the ground with the Army because I was trained as a FAC-A and a JTAC, and so I did a lot of fires missions. And I think that tour really created the most trauma for me. I had some trauma from flying.
So this is like out on the ground on patrol.
Yeah. So I went out. I'd go out on patrol some. I would do some of it overhead, in various aircraft, and then I do some of it in the op center. It just kind of depended on what was going on. And so, I get out and everything's going fine. In 2018, my dad passes unexpectedly, and that's kind of when the dam breaks open.
Okay.
And so, but before my dad passed, he kind of knew I was suffering from post-traumatic stress, and he even, kind of broached the subject. He's like, son, you don't really seem right. Is everything okay? And I was like, Dad, I'm fine. I tried to play it off, like we're all taught to. To be badasses. And
what was he noticing? Was it a level of drinking? Was it a level of anger? Was it a shortness of temper or a patience? Or
all of the above?
Yeah, same.
And the comment I remember him making was, "You're not the fun-loving son I remember you being."
So joy. He was seeing joy and lightheartedness kind of missing from your demeanor.
Yeah. I mean, I was serious all the time. Drank a shitload. I mean, I would drink 10 to 12 drinks a day just to get through.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm surprised my liver's still with me today.
Same.
So
2020 was that was a year of the liver for me. I'm surprised I made it.
Yeah. I didn't. I went beyond 2020, and so I've been sober a year and a half now. I'm actually coming up my year and a half anniversary.
Congratulations!
Hey, awesome! Congrats.
Yeah. So I got into holistic modalities about 4.5 years ago. So, I started the VA, tried the pill thing, and, that just didn't work. And the first time I was suicidal was when I was on the psychotropics that have suicidal side effects.
Yeah, weird how that works, right? They give you pills that make you suicidal, you feel suicidal.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know how that happens.
Thinking about how many veterans go through that experience terrifies me. It just makes me feel like, you would think it would make me feel super angry, but it just makes me feel super empathetic, like just compassionate, like I want to cry for them, because I've been there.
Yeah, and we're taught to lead, and we put trust in these doctors that are telling us to take this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then we find out we're poisoning ourselves down the road. At least that's what I found. That's what I discovered.
Yep. Sure.
And so while I was taking the pills, I started doing equine therapy, and that was my first kind of step into the holistic healing world. And the equine therapy for me was a great bridge, kind of walking into the pool without jumping into the deep end. So that was my first intro. And then
wonderful.
And then 2022, during my second suicidal period, that was my first foray into psychedelics.
Okay.
I did a couple of ayahuasca retreats. Did
you do any integration after the retreats, or did you kind of go back to drinking and stuff?
So I did some integration, but it was what I would call inadequate. And I kind of fell into the trap that a lot of guys I'm mentoring fall into, where you come out of your first psychedelic journey, you're like, I'm feeling great.
Everything's fixed.
I'm fixed. And I did the same shit. And 6 months
Right back
later,
to it.
6
Yeah.
months later, I'm drinking again, and I'm like, okay, I fucked this up.
You got to have the integration. You know, it's the window. There was a really interesting study that came out this past week, or at least a report on an observation. There was an 81-year-old lady that was in super advanced Alzheimer's, and a single session with psilocybin brought her back. She was able to talk. She got her memories back. All things. You know, apparently it was a temporary window. It wore off. But what that's telling us is that there is that window, and that neuroplasticity is firing, and all those things are happening, and that really reinforces the importance of that integration window. It's that period where you're coming off of that, but yet you still have this neurogenesis going on, all these nootropic benefits that are going on. That is a window to heal. And what we do in that integrative space is going to set the tone and the direction that we're heading. And we can either stick with that and incorporate those lessons, which that's why the integration process is so important. And it has to be done correctly, because if you're not keeping up with it and you're not engaging it, it is very easy to slide back into those little grooves that are underneath the ice. And I don't think we have enough attention is being placed onto that. I think the veteran community is finally rallying around this idea that these psychedelic assisted modalities offer hope, but I don't know that we're putting the appropriate attention on the actual mechanism of the integration in terms of the journey.
I can tell you for me that I would be free of my self-hatred, which is subconscious. And I didn't recognize this for a while, but I would come back from these ceremonies and retreats, and I'd be free of that self-hatred. And then I would go back to my normal life, and then it would slowly creep back in. And then 2 or 3 months later, I'd be right back where I was, but I didn't even know it was a self-hatred thing. It was so insidious. It was so deeply embedded in my DNA that when it reawakened and it came back, I didn't even notice it. It was just one tiny thing at a time. And the next thing you know, I'm feeling hopeless and despair again. You know, and I got to keep yo-yoing back and forth until I figured out I need to sit with it. When I didn't have that self-hatred, and I would come back from these retreats, I needed to journal and meditate and just really go deeply inward into that space and get to know it better. And then over time, it became a part of my day-to-day life. But when I didn't know what was happening and didn't do any work and didn't try and just came back to, alcohol, fast food, distraction, scrolling, all those things, partying, all the stuff, it just none of it would stay with me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And we have a question for the guest that's come across social media here. It's one note for Trey. How often do you use holistic medication? That's a good topic. We should talk about that.
Oh, great question. Yeah. So psychedelics, I only use when I feel called to, like when I feel I need to. I think I've done, total, I've probably done 10 or 12 psychedelic journeys in the last 4 years. But I've got a lot of other holistic things that I do every day. And that's
you taught me about a somatic release, a shaking.
Traumatic release exercise, TRE. And so part of integration is developing a new healthy lifestyle and setting up a routine. And so my routine every morning is I get up every morning and part of the sleep consistency is I try to wake up about the same time every morning.
Does the sunrise, is that starting to wake you up?
It does, yeah. Yeah, I start hearing the birds and the sun, and I feel the energy, and I'm like, yeah, time to get up. And so I get up, and the first thing I do is meditate, and then I exercise. And some days, 3 days a week, I do traumatic release exercise. And that's based on a book by Bessel van der Kolk. And the name of the book is The Body Keeps the Score.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole idea is that we store trauma in our body. And so what traumatic release exercise is, if anybody remembers when you were 4 years old and maybe your dad jumped out of a doorway and scared the shit out of you and you started just immediately tremoring, that was your body releasing the fear. But at some point we stopped doing that.
Because it's not okay.
Yeah, because it's society doesn't deem it to be normal. And so now I'm like, fuck society. And at 3 days a week, I put myself in tremor for 20 minutes.
Those purple-haired weirdo Antifa people in Portland must be carrying zero trauma in their body.
Yeah,
when Trump got elected, they just purged and were healed.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And so, so I do that 3 days a week. And that tremoring really helps. I've never felt more relaxed just from tremoring. And so now, whenever I do a psychedelic journey, now I always meditate and I will tremor during the journey. So the meditation takes me deeper in with the medicine. And the tremoring, my body just naturally does it because it says, okay, I need to release all of this tension and trauma that I've stored up. And so I'll come out of a medicine session and I'll just feel, light as a cloud and just very airy.
Now, you just came back from another trip down south,
Yes,
just
sir.
very recently. So as someone that has gone down there, they have found that healing, and I know your story pretty well. You went through the ayahuasca and kind of backslid a little bit and then found the ibogaine and had a big liberation, and it really has done wonders for you. Yeah, but you're still going back. Can you explain to everybody, why that is and what you get from that and the repeat visits? Are you trying to fix something that didn't take the first time, or is it a continuation, or how do you break that down?
Yeah, great question. So something that Lex said and something that you said, Hugh, that really resonated with me was that, we tend to get stuck in these loops. And for me, I don't want to backslide. And so that's why I've gotten very in tune with my body and my mind. And I can tell when I'm like, okay, yeah, something just doesn't seem right. I'm starting to have these thoughts again that I know now are not, healthy thoughts. And so that's what kind of cued me to, I need to go back down and do ibogaine again. But when I've done these different psychedelic journeys, this is another issue I found with myself, and I've also seen it in other veterans just talking with them. We tend to want to, fix ourselves all in one swoop.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen. And so
we like to set the bar here, right out of the gate.
Yeah. So one of the things I've learned is, okay, what am I going to work on for this journey right here? And so I pick one specific thing, and that's what I'm going to work on. But when I go into the medicine, I don't have any expectations. I've set my intentions of what I would like to fix in myself, but I don't have any expectations of what the medicine's going to give me, because the medicine's going to give you what you need, not what you want. Right.
Oh yeah.
And so I went back down to Tijuana. Been back a week now. And I went down there because although I was doing much better and I felt good, I still felt like there was something that was missing in me, like I wasn't whole.
And which clinic were you going to down there?
Ambio.
Ambio.
Yeah, that's
interesting. Yeah, because I know you're going to be speaking on in Waves and War coming up here with some stuff put together. Looks like by Wash U and a few other groups are.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's a big deal. And his Mission Within was the clinic, I think, featured on that documentary. Tell us a little bit about that movie, man. What are you guys doing here in that scene?
Can we tee the movie up a little bit?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So
we got it.
Yeah, what we do, but I don't know if it's ready to play, but within Irreverent Warriors, this film has taken off, When you look at the comments on our Facebook when we posted this film and talked about how Waco, one of our board members, is actually one of the advisors on the film, and you personally know the folks that were on camera on the film, and it just won, an Emmy Award? Was that it just won an Emmy? This is a very famous film, and it's the first film I've ever seen that captures the holistic healing veteran experience, and we actually have a little bit that we're gonna show.
I had a lot of stuff to work through. Navy SEAL training is one of the most demanding things on the planet.
It was like being drafted and going to the Patriots. It was everything I ever wanted.
The worse the place was, the more we wanted to go.
It felt like Russian roulette. Every time he would leave, he may not come home.
Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong.
We got discovered.
I can't fire back because I can't see anybody.
I thought my arm was gone, and I can't feel anything.
Blood and bullets spewed all over that thing. Just...
You go overseas and you see half your platoon get killed. We're not supposed to leave them.
I was just begging. Can you please help him?
The TBI and with the memory loss, I'd meet someone. I don't know what your name is. No idea.
He was doing all the things he was told to do, and he was actually getting worse. I got his medical records. I completely changed my approach. Psychedelic medicines proved to be effective, but both are illegal in the United States. So Marcus would have to travel to Mexico.
If you love your wife, you'll go to Mexico and do psychedelics.
all the body armor you put on, that all goes away.
My brothers, my teammates, you deserve to be happy and live a good life.
This is just one of those points in medicine where I've got to have the courage to jump.
That medicine takes you right to the crest and you fall off.
You get into this line of work because we feel like it's who we are. Who the hell am I now?
Yeah, I know that within Irreverent Warriors, this has been extremely popular because it's on Netflix. So everybody these days has Netflix, and so many people have watched it. And the comments that we've gotten on Facebook around this film is, it is opening minds from everybody. I mean, there's folks that are on active duty that are like, because they've now opened up psychedelic studies for those that are on active duty and in the reserves in Georgia and Texas.
Oh, nice.
They've got new studies that the secretary just announced and posted a couple of months ago, but they're going on all summer, where they're allowing folks that have PTS and need PTS help on active duty are able to access psychedelic therapy in Texas and in Georgia.
Yeah, and the VA just announced they're opening up trials on MDMA.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Yep.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. So we know that the things are shifting, and we've heard from active duty troops that have seen this film. We've heard from first responders that have seen this film. We've heard from highly decorated combat veterans that have seen this film, and their minds were blown because this is a Stanford study, right? So tell us about your connection with the film and the filmmakers and the folks on screen, and then talk to us about that Stanford study.
Yeah, so the first time I went down to do Ibogaine a year and a half ago, I went down with Veterans Exploring Treatment Solutions, and one of the scenes they showed, that's the house that veterans from vets always goes to down in Tijuana.
Okay.
And so, come back and do all the integration, and what vets has programs where people that have kind of gone through the other side, and we're not fully healed, but we're on that healing, path.
Yeah.
And so they have programs where you can become a peer supporter. And so, I became a peer supporter, and I've gone down with groups who were doing Ibogaine for the first time just to be there to help soothe them, because they're going to have questions.
Yes.
They're going to be nervous.
Yeah.
And so, I went down to March as a peer supporter, and I didn't do any medicine. I was just there to help hold space for the guys that were doing the medicine for the first time.
Fantastic. That's a fantastic way to use that experience immediately, and then it pushes you to be accountable.
Absolutely. Yeah, the best way to learn is to be a teacher, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, I went down for my second journey last week, and I've been back a week for my second journey. And that experience, I got way more than I expected. But again, the medicine gave me what I needed.
Yeah. The next layer of the onion. There's always another layer of the onion, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it was a very magical and enlightening experience that I had down there, and I really learned a lot about myself.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Isn't that just absolutely crazy that is illegal? And I know you're doing an awful lot of good advocacy work here around Missouri and elsewhere, working on this issue. Can you tell us a little bit about those activities that you're involved in, and what's the compass setting that you're seeing? What's influencing it, and what do you think is going to happen next?
Yeah, so I was mostly focused on Missouri here. I think I made, 10 trips down to Jeff City during our legislative session that runs between mid-January and mid-May.
Yeah.
And we were this close to having a bill passed in Missouri that would open up psilocybin research at both Mizzou and WashU. Basically, the Senate Majority Floor Leader, one dude, had other priority bills that he needed to bring to the floor. And so this psilocybin bill did not get brought to the floor, even though we know it would have passed, because we talked to every senator and we had a vote count, and we knew that it was going to pass.
What were the priority bills, and who is the one particular politician?
Will would like to know.
Yeah, I would like to know.
So
I do know, but I want their bills to know.
The politician, his name is Senator Lutkemeyer. Who's now running for, I think, prosecutor out by Kansas City. And apparently, some of the other bills that he was bringing up were bills on taxation, and that was some of the bills I saw were like bills on taxation and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's definitely a priority. We need to have more money from our pockets go directly to the government and screw the veterans. That's thank you, Senator Lugmeyer.
Instead of
I hope you own that.
saving lives.
Yeah,
exactly.
and I tell you what, the Missouri AG is completely out of her mind right now as well, as far as what I can tell. Seems to be on a crusade on pretty much anything that's helpful. She's going to try to destroy it. That coupled with the egregious failure of the psilocybin bill and the ibogaine bill that they attached to the psilocybin bill because they were so sure it was going to go through. Just the amount of disingenuous bullshit that comes from these lobbyists that have control over these state level politicians is enough to make you want to vomit.
And look at the states that have passed ibogaine. Texas, Oklahoma just passed it. Utah, Indiana, Georgia. So there are, I think there was roughly 8 to 10 states that have passed ibogaine research.
Yeah, and sometimes being from the show me state is, you got to be shown, I guess. So we're kind of the show me. We're not the we'll lead.
Yeah.
So maybe next year we'll have a little better success in that. But I look forward to working with you next year, man. We're going to take the heat to it again if we're still in that place.
Yeah, man, it was fun seeing you down there testifying with you.
Yeah, it's a ball.
Yeah, our next steps. So we're showing in Waves and War. We're going to do a panel discussion. So the goal there is just to educate the public more on the need for ibogaine and psilocybin research. Psilocybin, I'm thinking that's kind of OBE because I think that's hopefully going to be rescheduled here by the spring of next year.
I think that's what we're going to end up. Some of these, the genie's out of the bottle, man. And especially with the ibogaine having these clinical research trials going on. Once people figure out that this stuff cures MS, doesn't just treat the symptoms, it actually cures the initial underlying conditions that are causing that. People, it's going to be popping off like dominoes collapsing everywhere. And then guys like Senator Ludemeyer is going to have a lot to explain and to do because we're still losing 22 a day.
Yeah. And the 3 neurological things that I've been healed from. So the ibogaine, I directly attribute to my sobriety. I've been in bars, did the January snow hike here, hanging out in bars, had somebody put a beer in my face. I was like, no, man, I'm good. I don't drink.
Yep. And no urge.
Zero urge.
I have the same thing. I have the same thing. I used to always feel when I would feel a pang of regret, like I need this or I want this if I passed up a beer or something. And now I'm just like, it's like someone offering you a type of candy that you don't enjoy, and you're just like, no, I don't eat that candy.
I don't need it because I'm happier now. Without it. So that I had I still have a bulging C6 disc in my neck from years of pulling G's and wearing night vision goggles and pulling G's. I had this burning pain in the back of my neck all the time. It was like somebody was putting a hot poker in my neck.
I know what that feels like.
Haven't felt it in a year and a half. Somehow ibogaine, I'm sure the disc is still bulging, but ibogaine has made it so I don't feel it anymore. And then the last thing is tinnitus that we all have. Mine's been reduced after this visit by about 90%.
Nice.
So it's still there, and like when I'm in a quiet environment, I can still kind of sense it, but it's not that overwhelming, crazy ringing that constantly drives you mad.
Yes, which I always have to have something playing on at night before I go to bed, or if I don't have some kind of background noise, it's just miserable.
I sit there in my room, in my bed now, with the window open, and I just listen to the sounds of nature. And I don't hear the ringing in my ears anymore.
Yeah, what a gift.
And it's just great. And so, but it immediately
it's a miracle,
stopped
honestly.
after I did ibogaine.
Yeah. Good thing they're protecting us from that up in Jeff City, so we can have more taxes.
Yeah, thank God our government's protecting us.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, awesome. So how can people learn more about ibogaine or any of these things that have helped you so much? Do you want them to reach out to you on Facebook or what? Yeah.
So if people want to reach out to me on Facebook, also I'm on LinkedIn, and I put a lot of my trials and tribulations on there. But I've mentored quite a few veterans on just kind of, what's the right thing for me, because psychedelics aren't for everybody.
Yeah.
And I've done a lot of non-psychedelic stuff as well. TMS. Is another good one. I've done art therapy, music therapy, like I said, equine therapy. I've done all kinds of stuff.
And you are now an ambassador for Americans for Ibogaine.
I am, I'm ambassador for vets and for Americans for Ibogaine.
That is fantastic.
And so
Yeah, and and on Facebook they can reach you at Trey, Trey, Warren, Warren. That's your name on LinkedIn and Facebook,
correct.
and you're on the IW St. Louis team.
Yep.
And you're going to be volunteering and helping with some leadership stuff at the 4th of July, the 3rd and the 4th of July, as we do the IW 11-year anniversary at Celebrate St. Louis, which I want anybody to come out. It's going to be fantastic. July 3rd and 4th, we're going to have. We've got a video from last year. Yeah, go ahead and roll it. Yeah, it's B-roll. There you go. There's Lex.
He's everywhere, man.
He's
Lex
everywhere. Yep.
Hey,
there's
man.
the crew.
Get
There's
down.
Thad. Yeah. So we are going to be doing this again. We're doing the Silkies hike this year is going to be in the St. Louis 4th of July parade, which is one of the biggest 4th of July parades in the country. There we are in front of the old courthouse. That was the courthouse where the Dred Scott decision started the Civil War, essentially. And there's the St. Louis Arch. And the St. Louis Arch is built on a battleground from the Revolutionary War. This is the 250th year anniversary of our freedom as a country. And hey, there we are on stage before the big acts take the stage, and throwing out T-shirts and just having a great time. But yeah, it's a really good event. Look forward to it. IW's 11-year anniversary. There's the drone show.
Those things were so crazy cool, man.
Cool. You know, the coolest part I liked is when one of them would just kind of like spark out and drop. Into the river.
Yeah,
and
that
you're
was
like,
so
wow.
cool.
Those are Chinese were there, man.
I wanted to say 4th of July. Since we're playing the fireworks on the screen, I wanted to say this is the biggest fireworks display in North America.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Point that out. People don't know that. That's the biggest in North America. Anyway,
now, is that counting the gunshots from North City with the fireworks, or is that just the fireworks?
No comment. No comment.
So, Trey, I don't know what you're doing on the weekend of September the 19th. But that's when we're doing our annual integration event, and I would love, if you're available, I would love to invite you in your many hat capacities of high muckety-muck credentials you got now as being authoritative on this stuff. I'd love to have you and Alina come out and teach about ibogaine this year. We've not done an ibogaine class out at integration yet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would love to, man. That would be cool.
Locked in. All right, everybody. You heard it here first. You can join us on the weekend of September the 19th here near Troy, Missouri at the Quiver River State Park at the Sherwood Forest Campground, and come out and meet Trey and learn all about ibogaine.
Yeah. Happy to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great retreat. Trey and I like sweating all over each other in the Lakota sweat lodge.
Yeah, it's a good time. And by the way, Jalen's on the line right now, said he's watching and wanted to give a shout out and just say hi to everybody here. So, hey, Jay, good to see you, brother.
Hi, Jay. Good to see you.
That is our
What's up,
ceremonial facilitator for the Lakota Sweat Lodge there at Integration. An amazing man. Oh, isn't he the best?
Love Jay.
Wantakuyasi.
Yeah.
Wanikia, baby. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Oh, I did want to shout out. We do have some IW events coming up. June 20th, the Spokane hike if you're on the West Coast. June 27th, Chicago hike if you're in the Midwest. July 4th, as I said, IW 11-year anniversary. And then also in July 4th, if you happen to be in Europe, then go to the Germany hike on July 4th, celebrating the 250th anniversary of our country. So thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we will see you next week, of course.
Right on. Stay waxy, everybody.